Jim, another article that a lot of listeners have sent in. This was from Forbes.com by Alfred Kanua. I hope I'm getting that correct.
Alfred Pennywhistle must have been busy.
CM Punk's leverage grows amid scary low AEW Collision ticket sales. Have you been following the ticket sales story as it's been emerging?
Well, again, not every breaking news update like my life depended on it, but I know that the tickets are literally limping out the doors.
For the record, as I'm reading this was from the 23rd, so yesterday as we are recording. AEW Collision's ticket sales are almost as disastrous as the promotion's own looming disaster should CM Punk remain dormant. Punk has not appeared on
Wait a minute. When you get the word disaster in two different places in the lead line, it's not a good article.
Punk has not appeared on AEW programming since September 2022. And after a series of bizarre scandals with AEW in recent weeks, Punk's current status with the promotion is anybody's guess. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, AEW Collision in Newark, New Jersey on July 22nd has sold 3,500 tickets. Toronto, Ontario, Canada on June 24th has sold around 1,600 tickets on Forbidden Door Eve. Most concerning, AEW Collision's June 29th taping has sold less than 600 tickets as of this writing. Despite AEW's impressive ticket sales overseas, the promotion continues to struggle selling tickets domestically. Earlier this month, it was reported that AEW Double or Nothing was at 70% capacity, and as of May 8th, it had only sold 200 tickets in the last month. So I'll stop there, Jim. And one other thing on that topic, and you could say if it's a big deal or not, but a lot of listeners started sending in, I guess, they were getting offers. If you wanted to go to Double or Nothing, you could buy 4 tickets for $40.
Ouch.
I think that's what it was. Before I say that for sure, let me double check.
No, I've seen the same graphic, though. I've seen the same graphic that people have sent out on Twitter and various places. But first of all, Forbes magazine is now covering AEW ticket sales. Are there no big developments in the oil industry? No breakthroughs in aerospace leading to billion-dollar mergers? Are there no prisons, no workhouses? Forbes is covering AEW ticket sales now.
Well, look, wrestling gets clicks. And if you're going to cover wrestling and the business side, because it is Forbes, although Steve Forbes is a bit of a goof, but it is Forbes, so you're covering the business side of AEW. Makes sense?
When I was a young manager and supposed to be a rich kid, I fucking took pictures with Forbes magazine tucked under my arm so people would think I was this millionaire rich kid in this big important magazine. Now they're fucking coming groveling on their hands and knees to us for clicks. Isn't that amazing?
Well, Forbes had a lot of money, and he also had a son who has turned Forbes into what it is now. But anyway, let's go to this article more than anything else.
All righty. Well, here's the thing. They haven't announced who Thunder Rosa's opponent is in the main event in people's minds for this. Is she going to wrestle Samoa Joe? We talked about this. They were all set to make a big announcement about this show with the network, the upfronts, everything. CM Punk would be the star of our show, the top name announced, and then these other wrestlers that are going to be used on the program. They're going to debut in the United Center to a big sellout rabid crowd and then go on the road with this. And the only thing that didn't happen when they made the announcement was they didn't have a star. They're not going to fucking debut at the United Center. We don't know, again, until it's announced. But they don't have the star. They're not going to do the big debut in front of the sellout rabid crowd as far as we're aware. And none of the people that might buy tickets to these shows on the road from there think they're going to see anything other than the island of misfit toys of the good wrestlers that were announced in the press release, but are barely, if ever, used on AEW television or haven't been seen in a while. So, and at those prices, What the fuck? And what did they expect? Tony couldn't put the whole deal together properly, as usual, and they announced it and it fell apart. And yes, it is one of the most ridiculous dichotomies that I've ever seen, in that they're fixing to draw one of the all-time biggest crowds in the history of wrestling in one country, and they can't give these fucking tickets away in this country. It is ridiculous, but it's also a symptom of they're starting over again in another country like they did here 4 years ago. Everything they announced sold out. And we said, how long can the novelty of the most massive crowdfunding organization in the history of wrestling last before it's not the new thing, the big thing, the momentous thing, the occasion, the happening that this hysteria is causing it to be? And we found out the hysteria in the United States, except for the diehards, has run out, and they've seen the shows. It's not special. It's not new. It's something that's ongoing. And people can't afford to, as I've said, throw their lives up in the air and become a band of traveling deadheads in a VW bus going to every AEW show and buying a ticket. So now they're evaluating whether they want to go to a show depending on whether they want to go to that show, because they know there'll be another one. But the people over in England, this is the big, they're starting all over again, and they're kicking the shit out of their first show all in. But will they be running Wembley Stadium in 4 years or ever again? We shall see. But in the meantime, Tony's got to put these deals together and stick to them and make sure they come to fruition, instead of planning around things that he has already agreed to, and then for whatever reason, those things don't come to pass, and it fucks up his plans because he ain't in control.
With what's happening in England, it's AEW that's the draw, as opposed to any single wrestler or any wrestling personality.
It's the happening.
It's the package. It's the happening debut. And the package deal. You're getting to see the package that you see on TV. They're coming over here. In the States, and I'm including Canada because that's where a lot of these ticket sales numbers are coming from, the damage that's been done, I don't think has really been appreciated by people. Because even including Punk, even if they announce Punk, that he's going to be there, he's not going to turn everything around. You know, when you do shitty TV consistently, let's just look at the last year, over and over again. When you shove certain wrestlers down everyone's throat, when you don't build up anyone properly, when people get seen for maybe a week or two and then you don't see them for a long time, all of these things leads to a point where nothing is hot. Nothing is happening. There isn't, even like the Young Bucks, like there isn't that big audience anymore. Like, oh my God, I got to go see the Young Bucks when they come to my town. Nothing in the last 4 years has been done to build past that. They were kind of on the road there with some of the Punk stuff.
Well, think about this. How much damage has been done to Punk?
Yeah.
Through no fault of his own, because in the 9 months that he's been gone, the EVPs have done everything they can, as has been documented. We've been talking about all that time, to undermine him coming back from the start, to slander him to their fan base, like he was the problem, he's the root of all evil. So those people that may have very well liked Punk because he was part of the company that they liked, until they found out that the EVPs that tell them what to think don't like Punk, so then he's the problem. But they've been poisoning significant part of the fan base's mind to Punk, not as a heel to dislike him as a heel, but as an asshole to not want to support him. When to support Punk means you're also supporting the company that they not only work for, but are supposed to have a interest in from the office standpoint. So, what's to say that if Punk does come back, he brings his fans back that said, fuck it, I'm not going to watch this romper room bullshit without Punk. But then some of the fucking romper rumors will say, well, I'm not going to fucking look at him because Kenny and Nikki and Maddie told me he's bad.
Don't forget Jericho.
And Jericho. He screamed at me with no music in an off-note tone over and over that Punk was bad, and also Sebastian Bach. So they've been tearing their own company down for the past 9 months. So Punk comes back, brings his fans back. What do the other ones do? Do they boycott? Who knows? But it wasn't ever anything about trying to help the company or do better business. And the United States sees this on a regular basis, and they're tired of it. As you said, there's nobody hot. There's no names. There's nothing different. TV doesn't make sense. Shows are now becoming skippable. The hysteria is waning. Cold water has been shot on the two dogs fucking furiously on the side of the road. But in England, it's still red rocket, full steam ahead for now.